We start with some breaking news at noon. We just learned that at least 2 people are dead following a plane crash that happened in Arizona. The NTSB says it's investigating a mid-air collision between 2 planes. Now, this is a live look from the scene happening right now. This is in the town of Marana, about 30 minutes outside of Tucson. Police, as well as the FAA and the NTSB, are responding. Officials say both planes involved were both smaller single-engine aircraft. At this time, it's unclear how many people were on board or involved in this crash. Of course, we're going to continue to follow this developing story as more information is released. Thank you for joining us at noon. I'm Brianna Fernandez. Now, we're all still bundled up as we try to patiently wait for those temperatures to rise. Right now, I do want to show you what our thermometer in the 9 News backyard says. It's 30 degrees around outside right now, but a very different story than what we were dealing with early this morning when I woke up. So joining me right now, it's Keely Chalmers with our 9 News Weather Impact Team. Keely, when is this cold weather going away?
Well, it will slowly move out by tomorrow. So we are expecting a warm up tomorrow. But yes, today, bitterly cold. In fact, we're talking about record breaking cold at DIA. We dropped down to 7 below this morning. That beat the old record of 4 below that was set back in 2006. So again, this Arctic air mass in place throughout the day today, but it will slowly erode to the east as we head through the day tomorrow. 17 degrees right now at DIA, winds out of the southeast 6 miles per hour. Factor in the winds, it feels like it's in the single digits, right around 9 degrees. So again, those wind chills making for a very, very bitterly cold day across the eastern plains, down to 0, sub-zero out across the plains. And those wind chills are going to play a role throughout the day today. So expect bitterly cold temperatures again, sub-zero wind chills, as well as single-digit wind chills. Although we will top out 15 degrees, but it's going to feel much colder. Taking a live look at our radar, we're clearing out just a little bit of light snow up there across the northern border. Topping our weather headlines, certainly the bitter cold today. We have snow. We are tracking impactful snow moving in tomorrow night through Friday morning. Certainly looking at it impacting your commute tomorrow evening and your commute Friday morning. But warmer weather, we're talking about not just 50s, but 60s as we head through the weekend and into next week. More on that coming up in your complete forecast in just a bit.
Keely, thank you so much. The Boulder County coroner has confirmed what police had already suspected. The body found in Boulder Canyon was 18-year-old Megan Trussell. The sheriff's office says her body was found in a hard-to-reach area of Boulder Canyon on Saturday. She'd been missing since the night of February 9th. The coroner conducted an autopsy yesterday, but did not release the cause of death with her name identification. The sheriff's office says they don't believe there's a threat to the community at this point, but did not elaborate. In less than an hour, the prosecution and defense in the Andrew Buen case will give their closing arguments for the former Clear Creek deputy's second trial. He faces charges for the death of Christian Glass, who was killed after calling 911 for help back in 2022. Courtney Yoon recaps the trial so far.
Andrew Buen's trial is resuming today. The jury came back to the courthouse around 10:30 this morning to hear instructions from the judge, and closing arguments will begin at 1 o'clock this afternoon. The last time this case went to the jury, they found Buen guilty of reckless endangerment, but they were unable to come to a verdict on 2 more serious charges, including second-degree murder and official misconduct. That trial happened last year, but the case dates back to 2022, so let's catch you up on that. In June of that year, 22-year-old Christian Glass called 911 for help in Silver Plume after his car got stuck on a boulder. Officers spent more than an hour trying to get Glass out of his car. Prosecutors say the 22-year-old got increasingly upset with law enforcement and refused to get out. He appeared to be experiencing a mental health crisis. Buen then broke the car window, tased Glass, shot him with beanbag rounds before shooting and killing him. Jason Chilson, a use of force expert and former Aurora police officer, testified for the defense. He says after Buen broke the car window, Glass picked up a knife in his car with intent to harm officers on scene, making Buen's actions justified.
He became confused, disoriented. He went from manic, had different changes in his personality. There was an overwhelming amount of information to say that he might be a danger to himself or others.
Just days before Chilson's testimony, another use of force expert says Buen's use of deadly force was unjustified. Again, the closing arguments are set to begin later on this afternoon at 1 o'clock. We'll be sure to update you on air and online. In Clear Creek County, Courtney Yoon, 9 News.
Now, we just learned in about an hour, the Aurora police chief will speak about the troubled edge at Lowry apartment complex that closed down yesterday morning. The complex at 12th and Dallas in Aurora has been a site of numerous criminal incidents, including kidnapping of 2 residents that happened back in December before the city shut it down. We're going to have the chief's comments later today on 9 News. A bill that would have banned new sales of many guns in Colorado has been changed. The new version of a bill to ban the manufacture and sale of some semi-automatic guns with detachable magazines just passed through the state Senate. And now it includes an exemption. Someone could still buy one of those guns if they're vetted by their local sheriff and take gun safety training classes. That exemption was added because of Governor Jared Polis. The bill now heads to the House. Restoring downtown Denver was one of Mike Johnston's biggest campaign promises before becoming Denver's mayor. Now, a group of business owners want to hold him to that, penning a letter to the mayor and the city officials as they call on them to step in. Beth Ginsburg owns Trumpo Bakery and Cafe on 16th Street Mall. She says in the past year, construction has hindered traffic and migrants filled the streets in downtown Denver. While tent cities are gone, the unhoused population is still there. The owner says they often cause problems in her shop and drive customers away. She and her staff run into issues almost every single day, saying the city and police need to take action to make the area safer before businesses close down.
We really have to get the safety up. We really do. I don't understand why there isn't more police presence down here. You know, when I call the police and it takes them 20 minutes to get here and the perpetrator, the issue is already gone, it doesn't really help me.
A spokesperson for the mayor says he's helped remove large tent encampments, increase police patrols, and is bringing more than $500 million in transformative investments. But they acknowledge there's more work to be done. They say they plan to hold a meeting in the coming weeks to talk about possible next steps. A new report shows food contamination is becoming more widespread, in many cases severe. The public interest group that did the study found most illnesses last year were linked to just 13 outbreaks. That's despite the fact that there were more than 300 food recalls last year. 19 people died from the illnesses related to contaminated food, which is double the number from back in 2023. Researchers say Salmonella, Listeria, and E. coli were the most common reasons for food recalls. While many people across the country can file taxes early, you still can't here in Colorado right now. The Colorado Department of Revenue told us the state's e-file system for state tax returns should be online this week, but it's just not clear when that's going to happen. A spokesperson for the department said the implementation of 26 changes to tax code, including 14 new tax credits, has slowed down programming of the state's tax processing system. That's what's causing delays.